Notes. So you've just been busting it, basically.
That's right. Yes, yes, no rest at all. I
Mm,
um I was trying to sleep today because I went to the studio yesterday. I have another project I'm working um on my album, and we worked late, and I got home like super 5 a.m. and I said, "Oh, okay, maybe it looks nice outside. Let me just go to the balcony, have some coffee." So I had that and I was awake. I said, "Okay, let me just finish on my project." So I was sitting here all day. I did not sleep. I tried to sleep at 10 o'clock so I can catch up with you.
mhm.
And I said, my sleep is 6 hours. If I go to bed, we are not going to have this interview. So I've been using this moment to keep myself up and working.
Oh, thank you so much for staying up for us anyway, for me.
The original idea of doing a show was we had a grant from the city to do a concert during the pandemic 2020.
Mhm.
And then 2020, of course, there were a lot of regulations, things weren't open. And then 2021, okay, maybe you can do it on the street. So while we had that budget there, and we started touring this year, because 2021 and 2022 was like no tour. I've been working on other projects, but while we're touring, I always, said to myself, come on, why can't we do this in Harlem?
Mm.
Because in Harlem, I always play in cafes. I play in Harlem stage. And if it's not there, it's Lincoln Center. People in Harlem doesn't go to Lincoln Center. They don't cross Harlem. They want to stay here.
Right, because it's expensive to get downtown.
Yes, they don't want to go to Brooklyn when I'm playing. They don't want to go to Manhattan. So it's always here. But anywhere in Harlem, there is no bigger space. So my mind start to collect little things. Maybe you know what? Maybe I should just do a big event instead of myself playing. um Also, maybe this is the opportunity for me to start doing something I always wanted to do, because one of the things I've been working for the last couple of years is building the bridge between Africa and America. So I've been doing it through my foundation. I've been doing it while I tour in the master classes I give. Every movement I've been doing, I've been trying to connect with sisters and brothers from America, finding a way how to do that bridge, because Guinea is a French colonized country, and it's also the first country to say no to colonization. So, and they've been blocked from the map by the Europeans, and a lot of things are missing. When you go on Google, you said Guinea, you don't really see the beauty in Guinea. And the funny thing is, Guinea is the richest country in bauxite in the planet.
Mm.
And it's also one of the richest country in diamonds and uranium in Africa. So, but the people just take, 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 take. There is no advertisement, and the politicians have not done the right thing. So, as an artist, it's my job to be able to. I gave myself, that is not my job, but I gave myself the duty to elevate and educate and show as much as I can. So throughout that process, every single time I get inspired, I speak to somebody, my neighbors in Harlem, everybody say, "Oh, we love your show." So sometimes they travel, like they went on the festival. Last time I was in Massachusetts, we had a whole crowd from Harlem going there. I was in Washington, D.C., and some of them took a bus and they drove there. I said, "Oh, you know what?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is not possible." So I have to do something outdoor. So the whole outdoor purpose was that. But then as it goes on, you get inspired. these festivals inspired me a lot, and people I spoke to inspired me a lot. So I had a conversation with my team. I said, can we be crazy enough to actually just do a festival? I
Mhm.
mean, the budget is not enough, but we can raise funding. The thing is also people, we have a lot of followers that can support. Let's see. So we started doing the fundraising. Once it started, we said, you know what, this is it. Let's do it. Crazy,
Amazing.
crazy, crazy. Yes, yes.
Yes, incredible. I mean, you've sparked so many questions in my mind, so what keeps you going? What's your foundation? Where do you find your source of concentrated energy to do what you do?
Oh la la, that's a very good question. I always have something I'm working on. I'm always busy working on something, but everything turned out to be focused on women, girls, and children. Because since I was 16, my band, the Ideal Black Girls, because we are the first all-female hip hop and R&B band in West Africa. One of the things we were fighting against and doing a lot was helping girls have their voices, letting the girls go to school, not to be married early, to have a dream and to work for it. So I grew up fighting for girls' expressions. So I think it's become now a part of me because that's also one of the reasons why I created my foundation to be able to help these girls to become the best version of themselves. So by educating them every day, I also educate myself because I have to be productive. And I don't have a label. I'm a DIY artist. I have my own label I created. So the label, the label itself is a company. So I have to wake up every day and be in my office. And
Mhm.
my team, and I have a very small team, but efficient. Each of us mingle everywhere, and we do researches every day. So we keep ourselves busy. So the more research I do, the more motivated I get. The more things I find out there, I'm like, oh my God, this is happening. Oh, what? Why is this is not happening? Why are we not doing that? Oh my God, this person is doing that. What? This is not fair. Why is so? It's always does something that gets me in the morning. Like, no, this is not happening. So I get motivated a lot by the purpose of making myself getting with the best version of myself, and also helping these girls that are looking up to me to become the best version of themselves. So they inspired me a lot because by educating them, I better educate myself too at the same time. So
Absolutely.
it,
And then
it keeps me
and
busy.
then with, right. And then with the music, are you able to keep that balance between activism and performance? Or
Music is my
or does it just sort of flow together?
It's my center. Music is my center. It's
Mhm.
when I feel overwhelmed, I just play music. When I anything I'm tired, I play music. It's the place where I have my peace. It's my comfort space. It's where I'm not lost. So every other thing I'll be learning and doing that and figuring something out. But with music, I'm not lost. It's my only thing I know how to do my way and express myself and the way I want it. And it's also accepted the way I'm expressing because it's art. So yeah, it's my center place. I with everything I do now, I get a little bit off and on because let's say in my normal simple life, I would have do like a whole album within a month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Every day you play, you create a new songs. You get up like I have so many songs, and now I kind of work like with project. I'm like, oh, okay, how happened to the other song, But the good thing is, it's my balance. It's music. It's keeps me focused, and it also reminds me of my purposes because it's also the one I use to do everything I do. It's because of music I'm doing everything I'm doing. It's the reason why I want to help. It's the reason why I want to create connection between people. It's the reason why people approach me and they ask these questions. Some people want to have a mentor. So it's the center of all of it.
Absolutely. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
then, for example, what would your perfect performance situation be like? What's the kind of audience? Where's the space? What would your perfect space be?
Wow. Everywhere, I think. Everywhere. I've that is such a tricky question. You know, I love outdoors. I love festivals. I love outdoors because there's an infinity of people and everybody is going wherever you're going.
Mm,
If you go to the left, everybody's on the left. You go to the right, so there's a beautiful energy exchange you have, and your spirit and your body is on fire because you get connect all of that spirit with people. And the indoors, I love indoors are very nice, very intimate, but you don't see people like eye to eye except the one that are front.
mm.
So it keeps you balanced, balance, because you're working on perfection. You're listening to everything on stage, yourself, everybody else, because you can't really see everybody's eyes directly because it's in a closed room. Um, I also one of the challenges I had in America was playing in front of people sitting right in front of you, like right there.
Yeah.
Like you have 20 people sitting there and you're holding the guitar, you're looking at them like, oh, okay. I like to look at everybody's eyes. Let me just make them all sing. So
Yeah, that's the way. That's the good strategy. Just get them
uh,
to sing with you.
that was a tough one when I got in America. I learned that in America because
So where were you coming from before that?
I from Guinea.
Yeah, straight from Guinea.
From Guinea, yes. But I from Guinea I did traveled. I did some time in France,
Mm,
also a bit in Germany, but not too long. Usually it's like traveling, touring, or just going to stay for like few months and go home. Uh,
right.
Only in France, I think I've done like a 2.5 years there.
Mhm.
Also in Italy, but it's not too long. America,
Right.
the first one where I stayed this long. I mean, move my second home now. So,
Right. So when was that moment then that you decided that, okay, I'm going to be a professional?
professional artist.
Yes.
Wow, that is a very, very. I started singing. I was 16. I always loved singing and performing in school. When we were like 17, we used to perform in stadiums. Back in the day, back home when you do, and especially as the first female and hip hop was like on top. There's no space for it if it's not the stadium or somewhere else. So we were used to that big crowd, and when you like getting up there and you're just performing, everybody screaming, you're giving them, it's a whole not big noise, and then walking, driving, people running behind the cars. um I was used to that, but when I got here I had to start everything from zero, scratch. And that was a bit challenging, but it also helped me go digging deeper by knowing myself first, knowing finding a way, because it's not hip hop anymore, it's not R&B,
Mm,
it's soul, it's Afro rock, how to express myself fully, and also because I love dancing, and I like the whole fire of moving on stage. I'd like to not be stopped at all. So how to get in the color of what I wanted to do, was a whole process, because I did a lot of songs recordings, and they did not sound right. You know, I played with jazz musicians. They loved the voice. I played few friends. I would go to the places and jam. Then I said, "Oh, okay. I'm just gonna be flirting on the song. That's not what I want to do." So, I think the when I found my color, the color of the music I wanted to do,
Mm.
I the one of the first places I remember was at Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Um, we were performing. We had a rehearsal of 13 songs, and somehow we were having so much fun. I keep on extending on songs. So I started to discover myself, because I would create stuff right on the spot on stage. And my band would be saying, "Oh, no, where is she going? Where's she going?" You know, and the first time, and then they would just go on, and they would follow straight, because they're all professional. I was lucky enough, fortunate to find professional musicians from the beginning, and that for me was interesting, because I remember being in bed. I'm like, what the hell was I doing? I mean, it was just so much. And you know, we watched some of the videos, and I'm like, oh, I need to record that. You know, now I have to have my phone now, put it on this stage so I can record this. Why can't I do this on in the studio?
Mm.
So, because you like some things come out of there, and then you don't remember them anymore.
Mm.
And then, but you listen to your album, you're like, oh, how do I put this in my album? Because I really love this. I really love this me. I
Mm.
communicate better. So that I think that was a big moment for me.
Yeah.
Those
It must be very complicated for an artist, especially when you come. I mean, you're interesting because you sort of embrace hip hop and jazz and all of those things before you even came to America. And
yeah.
then coming to America and then having to find your voice within these different songbooks, because that's how American music sort of operates, is that these very rigid categories, and
Yeah.
you're sort of everywhere
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
it. You sort of exploded into everywhere. So you answered the question that I was just going to ask you, is that how did you find your voice? So it happened in Albuquerque, in
It,
that
it
space, where you just improvised.
it started happening here in New York. But Albuquerque was bigger, was the biggest stage. The first, not the first one. The first one was in Washington D.C.
Mm.
Hey, okay. Well, Siri, they listening. Siri is doing this. So DC was a big concert, and but it was all the way we prepared it. I did not go out of my length, and but I used to play a lot with musicians in the West Village,
Mm.
and we used to do a lot of improvisation. People call me. I'm like, oh, I don't know what the song is. Just come up. You know,
Mm.
you're the only one who can get there and just do your thing. I'm like, what do you mean, do your thing? And then I get there, and of course, my English wasn't that clear, so I would have speak this broken English and say, "Listen, I'm a French speaker. I don't know what I'm doing." And they'd be like, "Oh, just do your thing that you did last time." So I would just get there and do some French vibes, bring some European vibes. I think I got comfortable with that, but definitely New Mexico brought something out, because I definitely went beyond what I usually do.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Would you even think that it has something to do with the space, being such a raw, open, and very spiritual space, that might have been it.
I could definitely imagine that. I could definitely imagine that.
Because I think music is about flow. It's about
Yeah.
constant energy moving. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think you all are incredible.
Thank you, thank you. It's something. It's something. I try to do it now. I mean, now it's becoming flowless.
Mhm.
So people expect sometimes the little moves I do with my dancing.
Mm.
Sometimes they're expecting, my band knows me completely. So
Yeah.
even when we rehearse, they will say, okay, this is where we're going. We may take it that way. She may take it that way. My bands understand me, even if we get new people, they understand. So now when we play, even in a small cafe,
Mm.
people will just dance. If it's seats where people sit, they have to be on the chair. At one point, those tables are moving on the left and on the right.
That's wonderful. Well, you're doing your job. Clearly, you're doing a brilliant. If you can get them in a tiny little cafe in New York, that's
It's a fun.
amazing.
It's fun. You don't. You cannot. You can. How can I pronounce your name, please? So
Mukwai,
say it again.
Mukwai.
Bukoye.
Yes, Mukwai.
Mukoye.
Yeah.
Mukoye cannot believe how much people want to dance until you get started. When you start, then you're tired. They don't want to stop. It's like,
Well,
oh,
it's your energy. They're feeding off of you. That's what it is. You know, you could be playing cans of soup and they'd be dancing because you're singing and you're performing because you're such a brilliant performer. You know, and just the fact that you've acquired so many musical disciplines and you're so accessible.
yeah.
And I really would love to give you more of a platform on Afropop, definitely. You know, so. Tell me about how you're feeling about your new album that's coming out. I love your last video, by the way.
Thank
Very
you.
beautiful, very beautiful. The design and the whole staging was just really gorgeous, and the song is amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
thank you.
yes.
That song, we did that video in Guinea,
Mm-hmm.
and I was driving uh, in the neighborhood, and I saw these kids dancing. I didn't know what that rhythm meant. I said, "What are they dancing?" And it was the dust everywhere. So I just stopped the car and said, "What are you guys dancing?" And they were like, "Hey, we dancing." They said, "Can you dance for me?" And and they started to dance. I was with some of my boys that in Guinea, and I said to them, I said, "You better record this." And I would like to have the guy who's in the middle, the leader, to come in the studio. And he explained to me, he said, "You don't know this song?" I said, "I don't know." "But where are you in America? In America, you guys don't know anything that is happening in Africa." I said, "Really?" Because the song, it's been a popular song in Guinea, created by street kids. And
Yes.
some people, a lot of artists made it into songs, but they created a traditional style.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not a traditional singer, I said, just play the rhythm, give me the 6x6, just come to
It's
the
very,
studio.
very beautiful, complex rhythm. I mean,
It is completely different and weird. And
yes.
they got in the studio, they were just playing, and I was thinking, I'm like, okay, which direction should I take this one? Because I try to focus on rock, because
Mm-hmm.
it's also one of those elements. The fact that the rhythm is created in Guinea, I could expand it, because even now I have some DJs calling me to say, we can expand this song, we can create something. This is a new vibe. This is a new something. I said, oh, this is good. It's good. It's the whole purpose is discovering new sounds from Guinea
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
bringing it into the world on my own way, because I don't do traditional music. And it's just interesting. Even now when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, it's interesting. I still want to do some work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I listen to it, it kind of inspire me of doing something else on the song. uh,
Right. Because to me, it definitely sounded like the most produced song I'd ever heard you do, in
Mhm.
terms of the actual production, whoever did the orchestration. Uh,
Yes.
it sounded like, what's his name? Ray Zaiwanol, like Salif Keita's producer. Zaiwanol.
Abu.
Yeah, or this other guy, Joe Zaiwanol, I think is his name.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter, but it had that kind of, da da. It had all of that sort of synth, more synth sounds than I'd heard in any
Yes,
music. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
they do that. It's all, Mali and Guinea is very close,
yes,
and they tour. They play in Malian artists play in Guinea more than they play in Mali.
yes.
and it's vice versa. It's like you like play less in your country and more in other countries, so you get a little bit of all of these little synthesizations. Normally I don't use them, but
Right.
for this song it was necessary, and I was all up for that dancing.
Oh yes, I was looking at all the dance choreography. I was like, and then there's a part where you come in and you're wearing your beautiful blue, it's like a Andy Go kind of thingy, and then you're doing the dance. I'm like, wow, that was a complicated rhythm, very
It
complicated
was.
rhythm, but
It's
it
a
all
weird.
worked.
It's
Yes.
a weird rhythm.
The sort of new crop of African music that's coming through, mostly from Nigeria and South Africa, is kind of starting to drown people out a
Yes.
little bit,
Mhm.
in terms of those independent artists who are still independent, like you, who are still just doing their own sound, going, seeing their own vision and stuff like that. Do
Mhm.
you see yourself collaborating more with some of these young artists just for the sake of just collaboration, or do you see yourself continuing to sort of do your own thing? What do you see?
I will definitely collaborate. I will definitely because I like to learn a lot, and I'm very curious musically. Like I don't underestimate any sound I hear. And I also listen to some great successful African artists and African American artists that wrote songs, legendary songs. There are albums sometimes here when I listen to them, I ask myself, oh Lord, how would I be able to write a record like this? Well produced like this. And I'm like, oh, where do I find that producer? Lord, can you just bring that producer who can just get everything out of my head? And but I'm also very curious about songs from everywhere, to be honest, with whatever access I have, because it's a small team and it's a lot
Yeah,
of work, and I'm involved in so much stuff. Yes, I'm definitely open to it, but I also want to keep the open mind of creativity. I don't. I would like to develop whatever is in my head, whatever I woke up on in my dreams, whatever I feel when there is something happening. Not to imitate. Not to do like everybody doing, not to because the pop today, the hot songs are Nigerian, I have to do Nigerian, or oh, everybody's singing that, you have to do that. I'm not excited about that kind of stuff, but if I do have find somebody who is really really good in what they do and with a good energy, and we connect, we can definitely collaborate. No, with pleasure.
exactly. Good, fantastic. And I mean, I don't know what your relationship is with your fans, but do you keep a strong fan base, and how do you keep in touch with your fans other than your Facebook page maybe, and do you have any kind of connection with them? Uh, do you invite them to your shows? Do you have a strategy for those kinds of things? Asking you these questions because I want to help you build your fan base, right? I'm asking you because I want to see what you're
Thank
doing
you.
already and see how, see what is the next thing that people can expect. At the end of this interview, I'd love to be able to tell people where they can continue to find you, and and what you'd like to share with them.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. That's very lovely. I it through Other than Instagram and Facebook and all the social media, it's my website. People, when they write, my team, it's a very small team. They receive it and they tell me right away there is this there, and they can reach out to me through the website, and they can also reach out to me directly on my email. I always respond. Through my tour, I've been like, we have a box of business cards we give, and it doesn't have a phone number, but you got my emails and the agent's email. So people sometimes they reach out. So
Mhm.
when I'm doing an event, we send the marketing post. When he goes to all
Right.
everybody's email, they receive it. But Yes, through my website and
Okay,
direct email.
because I don't remember getting any press for this last single that you released. I don't know.
Yes, because yes, you are definitely right.
Okay, cool. It's not my head.
It's not. You are definitely right because when the single went out, we were already getting ready for Harlem Meet Africa, and was not right.
Right.
I could have kept it after this event to do it. And I was also recording, I was also involved in a program with the girls in Guinea. The mentorship program. We had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every day, like 8 hours from here to Guinea. So I woke up like 6 a.m. to be on
Wow.
time there.
Mhm.
And it's a big commitment. So that
Yeah.
consumed a lot of my time. And after that, I jumped right on this one. And at one point, I said, I don't think this was released at the right time. Because
Right.
normally you should have a whole PR going through to release the song. But
Okay. Well, I'll definitely do a review of the song.
okay,
Okay, for the article.
yeah,
So it'll be me, I'll share that I talked to you and that but I'm going to just do that review for the song so that you have
okay.
you. Okay. All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you. You are amazing. Thank you.
Right. I mean, the only thing I'd ask from you is if you just give a shout out to Afropop worldwide, just to Afropop, just say, I don't know, just say anything you want. Just like, I listen to Afropop and you should too, or whatever. I don't know.
I will. I will. I saw it. You are the new director, right?
Yes,
Because I went and I did a quick Google,
yes,
and I'm
yes.
like,
Right. Everything is connected. We're all connected,
yeah,
So my struggle is your struggle. Your struggle is mine. Your success is
that's.
my success. It really is. Whenever you get a chance, just do a little selfie kind of public service kind of thing for
I
us.
will.
And
I will do. I will do. I will do. I'm starting actually doing my whole social media thing next month. So
it's
I will also
hard. Yeah.
sometime I also send my mailing list because that's now how people follow through the
Yes.
mailing list. Sometime I do like a cute picture and stuff, and then we say
Right.
keep up next show is that day, and
Yeah.
ah, I know it's funny. I can actually see the change going on with the artists coming because I looked at them like, oh, okay, we got uh,
Certainly.
we got Umu Sangare coming, we got
Right.
this, that. So that's good. It's very good.
Right.
Wonderful. It's wonderful.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, love.
I am so pleased to meet you. So
Yeah, I'm pleased to meet
super
you too.
excited.
Yes, and I'll be very excited when you read the article. That's what makes me feel good. Okay? Okay, get you out there. Get you out there. All
Thank
right,
you.
sis. All right, lots
Okay.
of love. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye. You have a lovely weekend coming up.
You
Ciao.
too.
Bye.
Okay, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.